This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. On the next Live Green Tennessee, we meet musician Gil Draper. Next, we take a tour of the Chattanooga boutique hostel, the Crash Pad, and finally we head down to Poultry Hollow Farm just outside Carthage. All this and more on the next Live Green Tennessee.
Pick Tennessee helps you find local farms and farmers markets, plus offers tips for choosing, using, and storing the fresh foods you buy. The Pick Tennessee mobile app is available now on iTunes and Google Play.
Radon gas is a naturally occurring radioactive gas found in rock and soil and can seep into your home through basements or cellars. It's odorless, invisible, and without taste, and can damage lung tissue and cause the beginning of lung cancer, making it the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. It's important to understand how you can protect yourself, and the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation can help you learn more about this dangerous gas and make your home a safer place.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to bring you stories from across our great state on Live Green Tennessee. Music is certainly a big part of any culture. It's one thing to play those traditional Irish tunes, but one Tennessee musician took his passion a step further. He actually builds one of the instruments. We watch Gil Draper as he crafts and plays the Irish bouzouki.
It has its very own unique sound, kind of a sparkly, jangly kind of a tone. And it's just different from the guitar. You know, the guitar has its distinct sound, and the bouzouki used in a similar way for accompaniment and rhythm playing. You know, the bouzouki just has a really rich, sparkly tone that I really like. The bouzouki is actually a Greek instrument. It's been around in the Greek culture for centuries, but the Irish adopted it and pretty much simplified it. The Irish bouzouki is definitely its own instrument, and it's tuned differently. It's used for different music, obviously. It's for traditional Irish music. So the story goes is an Irish folk singer named Johnny Moynihan came across a Greek bouzouki and thought it might work for the Irish tradition. And then he sort of developed it, used it in his band. He was playing in a couple of bands back then. It sort of just evolved with the Irish tradition that way. My name is Gil Draper, and I'm a musician, and I build traditional Irish bouzouki's here in my shop in Knoxville. Well, I grew up in Cookeville, Tennessee, and I've always been interested in woodworking since I was a small child. You know, it's just always been a part of my life. My great-grandfather started Draper Lumber Company in Cookeville about the turn of the century, of last century. And my grandfather ran that, the Draper Lumber Company up until the 1980s. I've always been interested in working with wood, and I've always wanted to build instruments. I just never really thought I could. And I got to become good friends with a local mandolin maker named Lynn Dudenbostel. He's probably one of the most well-respected mandolin builders in the world. He lives in Maryville. And I had him do some work on a mandolin of mine, and I got to go visit him in his shop and see what he does. And then I realized that, hey, maybe this is something I could do myself, and I had the woodworking experience. So one day I just decided that I would do it. I started building instruments in 2010, and I started out building Appalachian dulcimers, and then guitars, and now bouzouki. The first thing I do is I get the raw lumber and square it up. From there, I will glue it up, you know, glue the plates together, the top and the back together, and then route out the sound hole, make the rosette that goes around the sound hole, and cut the woods to shape on the bandsaw. For the neck, I'll take my rough cut billet and trace out the shape of the neck on the billet and cut it out on the bandsaw. And that's pretty much the beginning steps of how to build an instrument, and that's the stage I am right now with the bouzouki I'm currently building. I get the wood from various sources. A lot of it is locally obtained here. I've actually been able to go out and help them cut the trees down and bunk up the wood and haul it out. So some of the wood that I use, I've actually harvested myself, and even some walnut I've harvested locally here in Knoxville that I'll use for necks and backs and sides. My spruce tops come from Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and then I get the various rosewoods and other species of wood that don't grow here locally. I'll obtain from various sources. You know, I can really say that I've built an instrument from scratch when I'm using wood that I milled up from the tree and made it from the tree to the final instrument. It's quite an experience. I do enjoy the process. I think that's really important to be a really good musical instrument maker. You have to just naturally and wholeheartedly enjoy the process of building, and not necessarily try to think about the finished product so much, but more about the process of building and the enjoyment you get from building and doing, you know, the 1,000 different little steps you have to do to create an instrument. You really need to find some enjoyment in doing that process. I think it really helps to be a better builder, to be a musician and know what good tone is, and especially good setup. That's really important for a professional musician, especially to have an instrument that's really well set up, really stable and well built, and that sounds good. And so being a musician, I'm able to hear at least what I think sounds good and what I believe other musicians, other bouzouki players think sound good. So it's good to have an ear for tone. Really, I think helps be a better musical instrument maker. Every instrument I make feels like it's one of my children. And then of course it goes out to the client and goes off into the world. It takes so long and so much time to build an instrument, and you know, when creating something like that from scratch, it's a very powerful experience, and I have a really deep connection with every instrument that I build.
The Crash Pad is a boutique hostel, new construction, right in the middle of Chattanooga's revitalized art district that provides accommodations with a more social atmosphere than a hotel. WTCI's Ross Tillman takes us to this LEED Platinum certified establishment.
The Crash Pad is a boutique hostel, new construction, right in the middle of an awesome, revitalizing art district, and we provide accommodations and a social experience that you simply cannot find at another hotel or anything like that.
We have an emphasis on all the outdoor adventure that's going on around Chattanooga. That's what drew us here and what we really love about this place, and we're just lucky to have that as a resource and to be able to base our business around it. That said, we are here for general tourism as well. Chattanooga is a huge tourist business, and we like picking up on that. Again, really, it's for anybody who wants to have a nice, safe, secure, affordable place to go stay and check out a new city.
So hostels, they originated in Germany in the 1930s as a way for students to travel inexpensively through the great cities in Europe and have more of a social atmosphere than a hotel. So we have kept that model. We have a combination of dormitory style and private accommodations for sleeping. We've got a living room, full kitchen, computer station, no TVs. It's a really small, intimate sort of bed and breakfast atmosphere.
What you can expect when you come to stay at the Crash Pad: a nice, quiet, clean bed. You're safe, you're secure. We've got a locking system, so only guests are allowed in the building. You come and check in, and the place is your home while you're here in Chattanooga. We've got the outdoor pavilion area with a gas fire pit, and it's just great for hanging out and having conversation, being with your friends. And so that's what you get, is this kind of communal, vibey nature.
The layout of our building, it's really different than a hotel in so many ways. The biggest one regarding our rooms is that they're there for sleeping. We've built the social space in up here. It's a very simple layout back there. You've got everything you need. We've got more privacy than a lot of people are used to in a hostel or in any kind of dormitory style setup. Our super bunks have an awesome wraparound wooden construction with velvet privacy curtains on them. We've got really nice mattresses in all our beds, private sinks in the private rooms, lots of lockable storage, and that's it.
I've stayed in many hostels throughout the world, and this is one of the nicest hostels I think I've come across.
A lot of times hostels end up being loud and kind of hard to live in. Crash Pad is really, they focused on making it a really livable place.
I've been to a lot of other places similar to this for climbing, and they're just kind of hole in the walls. They're not unique in any way, but it looks like they put in a lot of effort here, and the design is really beautiful, and the rooms are cool. Just this whole setup is really nice. It's great.
So we recently received our LEED Platinum level certification. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It's basically an official checklist put forward and organized by the U.S. Green Building Council that tracks the environmental impact of your building from every phase, from design all the way through operations once you're open. The wall system, this precast insulated concrete panel system, really highly efficient, thermally efficient, quiet, quick construction, and that was a big chunk of our LEED certification because it allowed us 20 out of 20 credits for the optimized energy performance. And we've left all the walls exposed, so any visitor to this place immediately can see the guts of the place, and those happen to be what accounts for so much of the efficiency here. We've got gray water filtration systems in each of the 8 sinks we've got throughout the whole house. We've got a gray water filter, and so that takes the used sink water, filters it, and uses it to fill the toilet tanks. Other than that, low flow fixtures throughout the place, LED lights. Pretty much all the wood you see in here, including the bookshelves, the benches, all the beams and steps in all of our beds and bunks, the bulletin board, and a bunch of the strips in our countertops right here are all reclaimed hard pine out of the old roughly 1900 era house that used to sit on site. We've got a green roof up on top. We grow sedum up there. It's a really hardy, drought-tolerant native species that does a few functions. I mean, it prolongs the life of our roof, helps to insulate the building. It looks awesome, and it manages our stormwater runoff. So by proposing the green roof, we literally halved our stormwater requirements for the site.
We went with the typical LEED guidelines on the landscaping. We do not have a sprinkler system. We also, native and drought-tolerant plants, big thing. So it's pretty easy to stick within those guidelines because there are a lot of beautiful local species that worked for us, and worked with a local landscaper and a local architect and came up with our beautiful landscape.
We've got a small solar panel array of 5 panels. We're plugged directly into the EPB power grid, so what they do is they measure the output of our system and credit our monthly energy bill with the amount that we're producing.
LEED certification to us was more than just the certification, or that to say we weren't going through this just to get an award. To us, it seemed like just the right thing to do, the conscionable thing to do is to build to these you know, sustainable standards. And that, you know, LEED, that's what it is. It's a beautiful rubric for how to, you know, build the most efficient and sustainable business that you can. It sounds hokey, but it just seemed like it was the right thing to do. I mean, we were lucky to be in a position where we could afford to do it. I mean, that said, it turns out that green building isn't that much more expensive. You can really do a lot with just a little bit extra.
If you're visiting downtown Chattanooga and looking for an alternative to a big box chain hotel, give us a call, come check us out, even if you've never stayed in a hostel before. We think it's a great time.
We would encourage everybody to come on down and at least see the place. You know, you never know. We get a lot of people who come down here who are sure that this is not for them, and they come and they see it, and not only are they pleasantly surprised, but they'll end up booking for the night. So we just say leave your preconceived notions at home and come on down and check the place out for yourself.
I would say give it a try because, first of all, for outdoor lovers like myself, I like to travel on a budget, and when you can stay in a place that's affordable and the staff is friendly and it's comfortable, it's convenient, the facilities here are brand new and it helps us save money so we can do all the things we love.
Poultry Hollow Hatchery hatches thousands of chickens and other poultry monthly and have over 55 breeds of chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, quails, and more. Not to mention, consumers can visit the hatchery and purchase these animals at any age for their own farms or produce. WC2E's Desiree Duncan went down to Poultry Hollow to profile this hidden hatchery.
We started Poultry Hollow, it was 3 years ago in October. So we're on our 3.5 years we've been open. We've always done, my son has always done poultry, and we decided that we were trying to increase our flock, and we were finding that people were selling old chickens and saying they just started laying, and we felt that people needed a reliable place to come and buy their poultry. We carry all different breeds. We increase our breeds each year. Good layers, excellent layers, sex links, Delawares, Barred Rocks, Cucamarans, and we carry exotic breeds too, like Polish and Houdans, Sultans, Millefleurs, Duclays, and besides the chickens, we also carry different breeds of ducks. We carry Ruins and Blue Swedish and Black Swedish, and we also carry geese, different breeds of geese. We carry turkeys. We carry your turkeys that you would raise for eating, which would be the broad-breasted bronze and white. And we sell them, you know, when they're hatched, we sell them for people to come and get, for them to take to slaughter for Thanksgiving or whatever. We carry quail, and we have doves, and we have pigeons. We carry just about every type of poultry there is. We hatch our chickens. We bring them down from the incubator room and we put them in brooders. And a brooder is where you keep them warm because they need heat when they're first hatched. And as they grow, people will come when they're first hatched and buy them. And then other people don't want to deal with a brooder. They'll wait until they're out of the brooder, which is about 7, depending on the weather, about 7-8 weeks. And then we take them out of the brooder and we put them in cages inside the barn so that they're still away from the real cold air, especially with weather like this where, you know, it dips down so low. And then From there, as they get older, at about 14 weeks, we move them out to our cages outside. And people buy them. We sell them at all different ages, from newly hatched to just started laying. You know, sometimes we have chickens that are laying that people buy also. You know, you walk into the barn and they hear you because, you know, they know that you're coming to feed them, and they start making noise, and they, you know, they come over to you. We've added this year, my son has added little windows in the brooders, so that way people don't have to open up the brooder to see what's in it. They can look through the window instead, and that way we can maintain an even level of heat for the chickens, which is better for them. It's a lot of hard work because of the amount of produce we have here. I mean, we're feeding and watering and cleaning all the time. It's not a problem for people that want to have 10 chickens in their backyard because it's such a, you know, smaller scale. And it's nice that they're starting to let people in the cities, allowing them to have chickens in their backyard. And that's an option too, because, you know, they only can have girls. They can't have roosters. And so, you know, we try to usually, you know, make sure that they're getting only pullets when or hens when they buy, so they don't have to worry about selling a rooster off or whatever. When we do our deliveries to Knoxville and Chattanooga, we had so many calls from that area for poultry that my son decided that we should start a delivery service there once a month. And we box up the chickens. Every order is a special order. We don't just bring chickens. Everything is what people want. And he takes them to Knoxville and then goes over to Chattanooga. We stay away from anything real public because anything we take out is subject to being exposed to disease. Mainly people come here and get their produce. I guess we're more of a specialty hatchery because normally a hatchery won't let people come and buy from them, but we do. Some people, you know, want them ready to be laying. Some people want to raise them from babies themselves. Anyhow, we've been very well accepted by the community. We're getting business from actually all over the United States. I've even shipped chickens to Long Island, New York. And the gentleman still keeps in touch with me, lets me know how they're growing and how they're doing. And the people, our customers, we've got wonderful, wonderful customers. We have repeat business from customers. And I had a little boy that sent me an email and said, "Thank you, Miss Judy, for helping me pick out my chickens." And, you know, I try to take time with the kids too, because, you know, they can absorb in the education on chickens so easily.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Live Green Tennessee, where we take you all across the state into the farms and businesses of those who are making the move to eating fresh, living sustainably, and helping us all be more organic in our thinking and the way we live our lives as Tennesseans. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Live Green Tennessee.
If you would like more information about Live Green Tennessee, please visit our website at livegreentv.org, where you can find everything from healthy recipes to past episodes and more.
Pick Tennessee helps you find local farms and farmers markets. plus offers tips for choosing, using, and storing the fresh foods you buy. The Pick Tennessee mobile app is available now on iTunes and Google Play.
Radon gas is a naturally occurring radioactive gas found in rock and soil and can seep into your home through basements or cellars. It's odorless, invisible, and without taste, and can damage lung tissue and cause the beginning of lung cancer, making it the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. It is important to ensure your home is safe with a free radon test kit. The Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation can help you learn more about this dangerous gas and make your home a safer place.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.